Hi guys, this is Nassem here. In this video, I will go over the quickest way of leveling up your Riftstone. Currently, I stopped upgrading my Riftstone at level 70 and I have around 2000 Chaos Crystals saved up, and I explained why I'm saving these in the base CP video. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I recommend watching it after this video. I do this thing called a violent mob run during hot times over 300%. And in order to understand how violent mob runs work, we need to understand Hadum's loot system. I hope you are farming in Hadum with your Stone of Luck and not your Sushi Stone. In Hadum, your loot only drops after a 2-minute cooldown. So if you just obtain the loot, you will not get another loot box before 2 minutes. In other words, if you farm for 10 minutes, you will be getting around 5 loot boxes. Let's look at the Stone of Luck now. The spoils drop rate cooldown, 18%, is the important part. This decreases the 2-minute cooldown by 18%, which is around 98.4 seconds or 1 minute and 38 seconds. This means if you farm for 10 minutes, you will be getting around 6 loot boxes. Over time, this will become a very big difference. Another thing I want to show you is that there is no difference in drops between tier 1 and tier 3 blessings. Here are the drops from each tier. Because of this reason, I recommend staying on tier 1 so that you can farm in Hadum for a longer time without running out of light vials if you are free to play. Now that we understand how Hadum's loot system works, let me show you why violent mob runs are very helpful. First of all, these are the violent mobs. They have this red smoke around them, and if you look at the minimap, you can see that they look like this. If you defeat a violent mob, they give you a loot box without resetting your cooldown timer. So I will still be getting a loot box from defeating normal mobs every 2 minutes, and I will be getting another loot box every time I defeat a violent mob. So if I'm very quick, I can get 4 loot boxes in 2 minutes. I recommend doing this during hot times only. If it's not hot time, it's not worth your time. I will explain why this is worth doing at hot times at the end of this video. Alright, so I'm going to show you one of my routes and explain some more important things while I do a violent mob run. I'm going to do 2 cycles of it and try to mention some important things during the run. As you see here, I'm going to start at Beishim Base, go to Beishim Canyon, and then Beishim Border. There are no violent mobs at Beishim Crossroads, so I'm going to skip to Waragon Nest and then Waragon Lair. There are no more violent mobs in Waragon Crossroads again, so I'm going to go back to Beishim Base, Basham Canyon, Basham Border, Waragon Nest, Waragon's Lair, and just repeat this process. So the first thing you want to do when you go into a new map is highlight these violet mobs by clicking on this target. If these are highlighted, you will be able to find them in the minimap much quicker. Then you want to make the minimap bigger and zoom out so that you can see more. You should start running around the whole map looking for violet mobs. As you see here though, there are no violet mobs on this map because no one is farming here. There needs to be people farming in order for violet mobs to spawn. If you don't see anyone farming in the map, just move on to the next map. Once again, start by highlighting the mobs. And you can see that this violet mob has a blue circle around it. This is because we highlighted it and now it is much easier to spot. You may argue that violet mobs are easier to find because of how they appear on the minimap, but I will show you why this is important when I start my second cycle. So I see people farming in this map, so I know there are violet mobs here. I'm going to run to the violet mob and defeat it. Then I will leave the area and go look for other violet mobs. So I found 2 more here. There can only be 3 violet mobs in a map and they have a 5-minute spawn timer. So once you defeat 3 violet mobs, you don't have to waste more time looking for more and you can move on to the next map. Again, highlight, maximize map, defeat 3 violet mobs, move on to the next map, and repeat this process. Because of the 5-minute spawn timer, I do this in 5 maps, and by the time I come back to the first map, all the violet mobs should be spawned again. I do want to show you one more thing. I want to show you the importance of highlighting these mobs. So I couldn't show you this before because no one was farming in Basham base, but the violet mobs here do not appear on the minimap. As you see here, they do not look like a violet mob on the minimap. But if you go to them, you can see that they are actually violet mobs. So make sure you highlight violet mobs when you go into a map. For those of you who stayed on this video until now, I want to give out one more tip. So I went over how to get more loots, but there is a way of increasing the quality of the loots as well. This is related to the item drop rate, and this is why I only recommend doing this during hot times. During hot times, PA increases the item drop rates, which basically means getting 30 dark coins instead of 2. So when people think that PA nerfed Hadum, that was actually after hot times ended, and the drops rate went back to normal. So if you go to the camp, you can increase your drop rate by offering your relics. If you click on Goblin's Blessing, you can see that this increases your field item drop rate. Make sure you prioritize on leveling this up first. I hope this video will help you increase your base EP by leveling up your Riftstone quickly. Alright, peace!